Peace. What's the peace, man? What's the peace? No, I'm talking to the audience, Nundy. I see you on the panel.
Okay, peace.
What's the piece? Nundy had to walk me through it. I appreciate everybody popping on. I'm going to just only take a few minutes because I really want to get into this debate. Uh, but I wanted to take this time to introduce the channel, a little bit about what the channel be about, what I hope to bring across. I'm affectionately calling the channel Tribal Voice because I understand in the making of a nation, let me see, in the making of a nation, nations are made up of tribes, and that black people here in America, which I honestly believe constitute a nation. We have the makings of a nation. We economically have enough. We have enough cultural contributions and inventions to constitute a nation. Just really certain heretical things of heritage that unite us as far as language and foods, cultural unifications, enough cultural unifications to constitute a nation. There's no reason we shouldn't be a nation. However, just like any nation that is comprised of tribes, black people in America are not monolithic people. We're not all one thinking people. And I think that this lends to our greatness. You know what I'm saying? This is what makes us and what has the potential to propel us, what makes us great and has the potential to propel us to even a higher greatness. Because this diversity that exists within us as a people can be used to answer any and all the grievances, obstacles, or things that hinder us. That's what I honestly believe. I think too many times and too long, black people suffer, if not consciously, subconsciously, from what I call a cultism effect. You know, niggas think everybody got to agree with them, think exactly like they think, and all of these type of things. And I think that that's dangerous. You know, so this is a channel where, like Nandi's, is an opportunity for all expressions of black life to be heard. You know, now if you get questioned on it, respect that. You know what I'm saying? But really to provide a platform for it to be heard and also to discuss a variety of things. You know, Nundy, I appreciate you jumping on. What's happening, Queen? Can you hear me? Nundy, can you hear me?
I had to unmute my mic.
Oh, okay.
What's good? Finally, you on here. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
you talking about the tribes.
You say what?
You talking about the tribes
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
And welcome all our people in the chat. Yeah, brother,
Man,
y'all
that's
some
what's up.
fire signs. Put them some fire signs down there. Shout out to
Absolutely,
my sister
man.
Poetic Empress and Emily. They some ride or die sisters.
I appreciate that. We appreciate the love. Definitely put up the fire sign, send that support out. We, like I said there again, an introduction. We plan on bringing that hot shit, just a continuation of what you get at Camp Nundies, what you get on that page, an extension of that hot shit. You know, there again, at the risk of sounding redundant, repeating myself, an opportunity for us to address every and topic and every issue of black life. One of the things, man, that I really want to address is just black relationships with this attack of the black male. And not only attack, I mean, not only is it an attack, it's gone past just defamation of character, just putting black men down. It's actually gone into the advocacy of annihilation of black men. I like to know what the hell we did to get to the point where our own women are hating us to that degree. Let's talk about, you know, I want to be able to discuss about real economics, real capitalism. I love what I loved about Nundy's platform in that class today is it gave us a global view. You know, it gave us an international understanding of capitalism and how it affects us globally. But I want to talk about how it affects us locally, not just nationally, but locally. The shit and how it goes into attitudes of perception, how we're perceived as black people. You know, why You know, when you are a domesticated people, while you can go in these damn shops, Korean shops, ladies, I see the videos, the TikToks, and y'all treat it like shit. You know, we go into these stores and we're treated like garbage. And yet and still, we spend money there. Is that compulsive? Have we been trained to do that? Do we feel, is there really a deep down sense of inferiority to such a degree that we feel we have to accept this bullshit? You know, is there some steps we can take? So just addressing those very real things, because what has been happening to us now is we've been given popcorn solutions. I think Queen Nandi attempted to point that out in the debate. Was civil rights beneficial for Black people? And like I pointed out to Sister Nandi, I said, man, that was a hard debate to argue, because not only are you talking to a people who who have no understanding of how capitalism works, you know, you're talking to a people that you have to teach about revolutionary understanding. And the very first start of revolutionary understanding is breaking out of concepts. And how do you do that when you spent years and years in school adhering to the concept? Peace to the goddess, peace, Ayo. When you've been adhering to these concepts. So how do you begin to break these concepts and these constraints? Where does it start with? What does this revolution look like? Because when we talk revolution, I think we hear it so much politically that we just look on a social, cultural understanding and don't even look at its more spiritual components. It's more and spiritual. Don't let me spook you. Don't let me get you running. But spiritual, I'm talking about, it's more moral and ethical understanding. Yes, revolution is moral and ethical. Yes, revolution is moral and ethical. Why? Because revolution is materialistic, not materialistic in the sense of capitalism, like I gotta have a possession, but materialism in the effect that we believe in the manifestation, the tangible physical proofs of a thing. Don't give me a lemon, and when I bite it, it has the effects of a lemon, and you're trying to tell me it's a sweet, delicious apple. Ideally, see, I'm not an idealist. Ideally, you would like for it to be an apple, but the very reality of it is, and the effects of it is the effects of a lemon, the taste of a lemon, the squinting and the bitterness and all of that stuff that accompanies lemon. So when you understand revolution from this perspective, when you understand life from this perspective, then you understand the need for moral and ethical understanding of revolution. You understand reciprocity. It's nothing spooky about that. You understand the law of receiving what you give. You understand it all the way down to a smile. I defy you to try it. Try smiling at someone. So revolution isn't this, revolution isn't this big, humongous concept that is beyond being grasped. Revolution is the very real, starting with interaction of your soul, interaction of self, how you perceive yourself. Very real. Nandi, don't let me talk to death. Did you want to jump in here at any time?
I'm enjoying this. You go right ahead. And peace, Sister Ayo. I see you said peace to me. How are you?
Yeah.
Go right ahead. No, you teaching. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay.
You know, I'll jump in there when I need to add something, but you're touching all of the bases right now.
Okay. And so while we have these few minutes for the debate, so this is an introductory to not just the channel, which is Tribal Voice, because there again, I want us to address every aspect and dynamic of melanated life, Black African life here in America, its uniqueness, to celebrate its culture, to celebrate its diversity, its vibrance, its color. Too many times we have people, you want to know why this manosphere and this women's sphere is able to exist? This denigration and degradation of Black life, whether it be Black male life or Black female life, is able to exist. It is because we have allowed our culture to be denigrated. We've allowed our culture to become profane, to become to be used in vain. We've allowed the worst parts of our culture to be exhibited for the sake of what we call entertainment. There again, to go into that capitalism, that everything has a price. We've allowed this to happen to our culture. For the 50 Cent is the new Blaxploitation king. Let's say it. Let's say it. And I know those shows are entertaining, it's gritty, it's gripping, homie. It's real life. Not many of you guys real life. Many of you niggas ain't live like that. Let's cut it out. This is why you're fascinated by its portrayal on television. And I can understand to a certain degree. You know, you say, well, the white man does it. Everybody else does it. The Japanese has these samurai movies. And so I can understand that, you using that logic, if we had the same counterbalance with these same people that have these so-called gangster movies, or all these movies that portray their race in a less than favorable light, they turn around and make a movie that make them fucking heroic, saviors of the world. Hell, you can make a gangster movie annihilating all of mankind when you turn around and make a movie where you save all mankind from destruction. You know, yes, please, boy. Do you have Empress? Come on. Do I need to drop the link again? Let me drop this link. Let's I don't think I have to do that again.
Remember how you know how to
You sure did, and there we go.
Okay.
So yeah, Empress, please jump on here. Your contribution more than welcome. You know this is your station.
My girl Emily be having good stuff too. If they both want to jump, I would love to hear from both of my sisters, because they come with all the information, you know, positive information, positive energy. I love both these sisters.
That's what's up. That's what's, and absolutely. I've got nothing but love and support since I've been on. There again, shout out.
Make sure you put and Cash App and everything in your chat, because this your first day going live. It's other people probably watching, but just not coming. So make sure you put your email, Facebook, and everything in there.
Since I've been on,
Cash App and everything in your somebody's got their YouTube going live. It's other people probably. I think it's Empress. It's not coming. So make sure you put your email, Facebook, and everything in there.
Is that me or?
Just let me sort out my audio.
No, that's Empress. She finna cut her off. She about to. Okay, I think she good now. We don't hear no feedback. She good.
Put my blackfish. I can't put that.
Come on up here, Emily. We waiting on you. Sister Ayo, y'all hit that link. We need some sisters to talk about this type of stuff right here.
I got to work on my emoji, so y'all got to bear with me on my emoji game.
Hey, can you hear me?
Peace, poetic.
Peace, yes.
Bear with me on my emoji game.
Hey, can you hear me?
Peace, poetic.
So this is the foreigner. I can hear an echo, so just 1 minute. I can still hear an echo on my side.
Peace, poetic.
So this is the foreigner. I can hear an echo, so just 1 minute. I can still hear an echo on my side. Why is it doing that? I did this last time. Let me go here. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, they can't hear me. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
There's quite a delay. Okay.
No, can we hear you? How about now?
Hello. There's quite a delay. I'm not sure how this is going to work.
No, can we hear you?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think your YouTube still going. You might have to.
Yeah.
Let me show you. You know how to go out. When you go out, right? Pause the YouTube.
I can hear you.
And then
go out, come back in.
Yeah, go out, pause
Right.
the YouTube, and then hit the. You know how to go out when you go out, right?
Yeah.
Pause the YouTube.
I can hear you.
And then
Go out, come back in.
Yeah, go out, pause the YouTube, and then hit the. Okay, Sister Emily, I see you was at work. Younger Emily says she's gonna come up next time she went to work.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We're looking forward to that chat.
That is a wonderful sister. When we wasn't live, she called to check on us to make sure we was okay. That's a wonderful supporting sister.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I know we're developing a strong team that's going to get out there and put and that's what it's all about. You know, it's really about Black empowerment, Black advancement, and that starts with care for the human psyche and the human body and all of the human species, really, for Black people to advance. You know, you can't, I don't believe in, and I may catch a lot of flack from this, but I don't believe in I shouldn't catch flack. I'm not a neo-colonialist. I don't believe we can rule, govern, or run a proper society based on the same oppressive measures that we were placed under. One of those methods and philosophies as an economic philosophy, as a social practice, is capitalism and consumption. And we have shown that that is just really depleting the earth. It has turned us into social monsters, you know, with just no morals and no ethics, like we were speaking about earlier. And in order for us to survive as Black people, we have to take the reins again of being guardians, custodians of this spaceship, this rock traveling through the planet Earth. And in order to do that, like I said, we have to practice a dialectic, which is the opposite, is a science of the opposite, and the opposite of oppression is freedom. So we naturally couldn't come to some fruition of power and practice oppression ourselves. You know, it just wouldn't work.
Facts.
You know, so
and you
this
know,
is what
let me mute my mic and let Poetic talk, because I'm still hearing the echo and she's on mute. So let me mute my mic and take her off so we can.
Oh, is there still an echo?
I think it's me.
Still an echo?
Hey, Poetic.
Is it?
No.
Hello?
I don't hear one. No echo. It may be time delay.
Let me see something. Yeah, the echo is gone. Everybody's echo is gone. So Poetic, you can speak. Let me go back on mute, you guys.
No one can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, it was so quiet. I was going to start talking to myself. No, I'm really interested in this because I have spent quite a long time in America, but I am back in the UK. And I like the analogy that you used about the spaceship, because believe it or not, there are Black people around the world who are rooting for Black Americans. We want you to get back on track because what you're going through now, it's so sad, more than we can probably recognize or will be able to recognize. But really and truly, and I know I speak for a lot of not just UK Black people, but people from around the world. What are you doing, or what can you do to, to get moving forward with your lives in America? What can be done? What realistically can be done to start moving forward to getting the life that you deserve? And reclaim what should be yours. What can be done now? What is the situation now? Because it's so sad hearing all of this, what you're going through for such a long time, decades and decades and decades. What is the real change that can come from all of this?
Well, I think one of the things that has to come from it is elevating our struggle from a civil rights struggle to an international struggle, to equating our struggle with our African brothers and sisters worldwide. In Nundy's debate, the question was the civil rights movement beneficial for us? And I would have sided with Nundy, which I did, and answered in the negative. Why? Because civil rights tied us to national issues. It tied us to the jurisdiction of a national judicial system, of a national body to solve our affairs. While our brothers internationally, while we were getting the right to vote, our brothers internationally were winning their independence. We look at Ghana. We look at the effects of internationalism in ending apartheid, and it's stretching so far that Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and became the president. When we did civil rights, it made our revolution a criminal revolution, and our freedom fighters are still in prison. So the first thing that I say we would have to do is elevate our struggle from a civil rights struggle into a revolutionary struggle. And revolutionary struggle is internationalism, from just the Ma'afa, just the slave trade, to tying that slave trade to the international crime of colonialism and the exploitation of colonialism throughout the known world. That would be the first step. Once we did that, I think as a people, if our politicians and our policymakers and our so-called leaders embrace this philosophy of revolution and it began to trickle down to our people, we would perceive ourselves differently. Our people, I think the Christians have a saying. What is it? The people suffer for lack of knowledge, or something to this effect. I think our people suffer from lack of international awareness of policies and how we're perceived internationally in the world. And our lack of participation in that and putting pressure on America on her foreign policies leave us impotent and leave us being looked at as really a carefree or a jigaboo or shucking and jiving dancing ass Negro
exactly.
People. Not only
can I just come in there, Younger, because what you've just said
please,
is
yes,
so important.
Come on.
What you've just said there is so important, because that is how a lot of the world, the rest of the world, has viewed America. Because for the longest time, it seems like you were all dancing and wealthy and didn't need anybody or anything from anyone anywhere. For the longest time, that's the impression that's given. So over this last, I would say, maybe not even decade or so, to hear that it's the opposite of that. I think this is where some of the, how should I say, lack of empathy has come from other countries. The ignorance towards what has been going on with, your people, with the people in America, because the media has thrown this propaganda that maybe it's all, I'm not saying all Hollywood, all singing and dancing, but you get my gist, don't you? So for people like, say, especially the UK, I would say, I say this because on one conversation that I had, I think it was on the Argument League, I was talking with somebody and they were saying that basically, you know, they couldn't even ask the UK for help. And I was like quite surprised by that statement, because I didn't take it any further because of how the setup was on the platform. But my quiet question to myself was, ask the UK for help. We didn't know you needed help. So because we had this impression through the media or otherwise that the USA was doing okay, they didn't need anything, they were fighting these wars left, right, and center. They were the big I am. They were loud and proud, you know, and all of that. And so to hear this now, that it's been totally the opposite, or there's been many pressures and lots of, you know, oppressive conditions placed amongst what really are brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not, or distant cousins, if you like, is quite heartbreaking. So I'm really glad you've touched on that point. I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Well, you know, and it should, and I'm glad it's refreshing for us revolutionaries to hear it's heartbreaking. Here's what happened. When they enacted the Civil Rights Bill, like Nundy so adequately put it and was pointing out great points, to keep us from having that connection with our brothers and sisters in the UK, they assassinated the revolutionaries like Malcolm X, who made those connections, who pointed out the hypocrisy of America to have segregationist laws and to condemn South Africa for apartheid. You know, he pointed out, I believe it was said that Malcolm had set their foreign policy back. That was said by some of their agents. So what they did was kill the revolutionary, or attempted to kill the revolutionary. But like Fred Hamp said, you can kill the revolutionary, but can't kill the revolution. And they funded the civil rights movement. And in funding that, it made it the premier dominant voice in the Black movement, and giving the world the impression that we were happy with civil rights, that we were throwing a picnic and had all the watermelon and fried fucking chicken we could eat, that we were cool. All the while, a vicious war was being waged against Black American revolutionaries over here through COINTELPRO, and, you know, the murder and just you name it. And it was not getting any publicity, what was happening to us, even before the Panthers, the murder of revolutionary thoughts like Medgar Evers, those people who disagreed with the so-called direction the civil rights was going in. When they were murdered in Maine, you wasn't really hearing about this, because the job was to push civil rights, get us to accept that, keeping our struggle a national struggle, and in keeping it a national struggle, not only would it legally keep for our brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora from coming to our aid, it would also give the state propaganda machine the full carte blanche control of our narrative. And this is why you saw all of that buffoonery and shit.
I'm so glad you spoke on that, because that leads to my next point. So the civil rights came, and even in the UK, it was one of the most militant times in my grandparents' lives, my parents' lives. Looking back, if there was something that could be changed, what could it be, apart from obviously the I'm not talking about MLK, on a grassroots level? What could have been changed to maybe forge a different direction in the way that I'm not talking about the main civil rights movement, I'm talking about grassroots level. Could there have been any other way of forming other groups to try and push forward the agendas for the Black community in America?
Nundy, don't let me hog it. Do you want to jump in here, Nundy? Okay, she may be handling the multitude of things. I think that was what ended up happening is they took the power from the people. I think that we had enough grassroots.
Sorry,
we look back.
Asking me a question. I'm on the other computer managing your.
Okay.
So was y'all calling me?
We were. She was asking a question, but you know what, you guys?
Hey, drop
and I hate to be a party poop.
Drop the link for Black Sun here in the chat.
Okay.
So he could come on the panel. And you can go ahead with the question. I was over there controlling your chat. I'm listening, you guys.
Okay. Our guy is, but I will say this. Our debate is kind of hitting. Let me see if I drop Sun. There you go. Sun.
Okay, what was the question says?
Besides the actual civil, the main civil rights movement that you had in America, on a grassroots level, excuse me, were there other groups that were forming that could have steered things in a different direction? Because I know the main thing was the civil rights movement. Were people on a grassroots level coming together and realizing that change had to come? Or was it just all this civil rights movement? Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying basically was everything being placed in one basket as opposed to other groups springing up and being militant in their own right? Because it seems like the civil rights movements happened and then there was nothing.
Yeah, because the thing is, the civil rights movement was a total fluke. That's why we had people like the Black Panther Party in 1966 and multiple other organizations to spring up, if the civil rights movement had made any type of difference for Black people. Not saying that the Panthers would not have sprung up, but I don't think that the conditions would have been the same. Let me put it like that. I don't think that the conditions would have been the same.
Right. Okay.
So that's how I look at that.
I like to jump in there and address some of that too. I think that we did have the grassroots. I think the point of deferring the revolution or deferring the people's anger from growing into a revolution is taking it out of the hands of the people. So when you had these grassroots movements, when you had these movements that were in touch with the people, when you had SNCC, Student Non-Core Violence Committee, that was in touch with the people, and the people were angry. So Stokely Carmichael began to develop on the concept of Black Power. When you had groups like Robert Williams, Deacon of Defense, who wasn't going for that nonviolent shit and was like, look, we got to have guns. These grassroots groups who were in touch with really what was happening with the people, this is what scared the government. So the government, to keep it out of the hands of the people, funded the civil rights movement. That's why that is the mainstream movement. So I don't think we could have had any more grassroots movements. I think the thing is with any revolutionary movement, as it goes against the state just had the economics, had the resources, had enough Negroes that were willing to sell the cause out, sell Black liberation out for Black assimilation. And the conditions were just right for the state to take that battle. So I think that's what we're fighting now. When we go on these shows with these Negroes, how about capitalism, what this and it's the same shit. Petty bourgeoisie ass Negroes who, for their own personal comfort, are willing to watch the demise of their brothers and sisters. And the capitalism that they're advocating isn't even a capitalism that would ensure generational wealth. It isn't a capitalism that would ensure them, which you can't in capitalism, can't ensure shit, but that would at least give them a shot at generational wealth. They're arguing for a consumer capitalism. They're arguing for their immediate fucking gratification, their fucking PlayStation. These Negroes would trade their freedom in for a fucking PlayStation because they're scared of revolution. They scared they ain't gonna be able to watch it on a flat screen.
I agree. I don't get Sun coming on the panel. Did you drop the link?
I dropped the link. Maybe not. So I hope that answered a little bit, Sister Empress.
Yes, it did. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's what we're fighting here in America. The revolution is fighting, and remember, we're in, to my brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora, we're in the seat of the beast. We're in the belly of the beast. We are in the seat of capitalist imperialism. So our struggle is like that. You know, you're in the UK. So we're fighting. If you thought that they're a bitch in the UK, right?
They're what, sorry?
They're tough in the UK, right?
They as in the white people?
Yes. Yes, they as in them.
If you're talking about the politicians, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine if your parliament is as tough as it is. We're dealing with the bastards and the criminal element of the UK. You know what kind of crackers we got? If you think them wig wearing white boys in the UK or something, imagine we have, America was founded by the criminal element of that place. So you can imagine the sicknesses and perversities that are masqueraded as government and government policies over here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can I ask about, it's about the amendments, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th amendments that Nandi brought up in the stream. I think it was yesterday's stream. Americans, are you all amended citizens, not full citizens?
Black people, I believe. And that's Nandi's special
question. We are not citizens at all. When these laws was written where they stated that we were to be citizens, they went back and reversed the law. That's what I was going to go into tonight. But we had a little emergency to come up, so that's why I couldn't go back live. But I'm going to touch bases on that when I do go back live. But yes, that's what they were showing in the video on that I showed yesterday about the civil rights. We are not considered to be citizens. That's what's documented in paperwork. But our people seem to be too blind to understand that. And this is why we go through a lot of issues. Even with the United States Constitution, there's a lot of states that didn't even vote on the Constitution, meaning they didn't believe in blacks having rights. And that's why they had to form colonies, even with the 13th colony. That's what staged the war in 1907 to 1913 with Sherman and McPherson and all of these different people, the war that was waged down here in the South on Georgia. I think I did a video on that about when Georgia howls. So it's different things that they do to try to manipulate the situation, but at the same time, we are not registered as citizens.
Right on. Listen, I really just wanted this to be an intro. I hate to shut down so soon, but look for us to come back. I do want us to support the debate. You know, shout out to the league and give them that props, man. I really appreciate them for, you know, having a platform for at least those type of exchanges to go on. So get out here. Let's go. Let's support our favorite debaters. I want to say, I believe, who's debating, Nandi? Is it Blue and Suave?
Blue and Suave.
That's going to be pretty good, you know. So let's go check that out and then catch us back. If you don't catch us at Nandi's camp, at the camp, I call Nandi's channel the camp. If you don't catch us at the camp, be looking for our page. I want to, Poetic, I really appreciate you coming out on the debut show. That's love. Emily, thank you for showing love on the debut. I know it's a lot going on. I just appreciate you guys for believing in it. And it would be amiss if I didn't send a shout out to Queen Nandi, man, who made all this possible, introduced me to it, been rocking with me for years. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. Straight up.
You're welcome. And make sure you give a shout out to Ayo and Black Sun, even though he didn't come on the panel.
Son, Ayo, you know I love you. Ayo, if you in Atlanta, check out Ayo. Oh shit, I don't want to put you out, Ayo. I don't know if you're taking on new clients, but that's who does my locks. That's my sister. She's dope.
No, I know.
Check out. You know Ayo. Check out her page. Check out her out on Instagram and shit. You know, give her some play. She really is good. With that, man, want to shout out everybody. Thank you again for checking out Yankees channel, Tribal Voice. Get back with us. We're gonna be bringing that hot shit, having some hot discussions.
I surely enjoy coming over. You know, I'll be here, and
you know
how to go up there and end right. You hit the same button.
All right. Thank you so much. Hey, Nundy, thank you for walking me through too.
You more.
All right. Peace, fam.
See you guys on the other side.
See you on the flip. Peace, Empress.
Bye.